What's happening, party people? What's happening, party people? Happy Faith Focus and Follow Through Friday. This is your daily morning motivational message because motivation's a lot like our personal hygiene. You want to do it every day. Now, some days you might have a light day. You might be home, working from home, not really going out, didn't really break a sweat, and you don't shower that day. Okay. So it doesn't mean that you're going to funk up the place. But the next day, you're probably going to shower. You don't want to go 2 full days without any level of body wash, okay? And our mental fitness is equally important and can have that same rhythm. Meaning, some days you're going to be fully immersed. You're going to be reading 30, 40 pages of personal development because you're going to be in the zone and you're going to listen to like 3 hours of audio because it's an hour, 90-minute commute to and then 90 minutes back from your job or your work assignment. So you just happen to be really deep diving in personal development. The next day, you might have to take your kids to the amusement park. And so you're completely engaged with your family and your kids, right? So maybe that day it's not as much. But the point is that there's a level of consistency and a level of engagement where every day you're doing something. And so the little bit of time that you and I spend together on these daily morning motivational messages is just a little something for you. I really hope that you're taking it beyond that. I hope that you are carving out time the same way that you carve out time for your job, the same way that you carve out time for your business and date nights and making the kids lunches and pickups and drop-offs. I hope that you are carving out time for your growth and your personal development, that they're all of equal importance. And I believe that your growth and personal development is of utmost importance because that affects how you show up for your children, how you show up for your spouse or your loved one, your family, your work, your career. So I just want to keep encouraging you to pick up the book, listen to an empowering audio, tune into this message, share this message if you think it can add some value. My assignment is to be a vessel, to be a conduit for your goals and your dreams, to have that access to empowering perspective and leverage. The reason that I have coaching clients is because they need some outside perspective. They need someone who's actually created results and has a track record and has successors and success stories and has receipts. But I'm also doing it now in real time so that when I'm coaching them, they know I'm coming from real time perspective of the results that I'm creating. And you can't see the picture when you're in the frame. So that's where I come in. They're like, hey, I want to work on this. I want to level up here. I'd like some more accountability here. It's not because I don't think that people, quote unquote, need a coach or need me. I think it's just a matter of being strategic, being intentional, and creating a higher level of accountability because most people don't do it on their own. That's an anomaly. There are very few success stories, and I don't care if it's a ginormous success story or a success story that you may never encounter. But very few significant success stories happen in a vacuum. Very few happen alone. You're typically going to have some other people involved, a team, a partner, some individuals that are there to keep you accountable, keep you on point. So just giving you that groundwork, that reminder. And I wanted to share something. You are who you say you are until you prove otherwise. So you get to write your script. You get to be as dynamic as you're committed to being, and you can actually forge a path to being this outstanding whatever that is because you've already made it up in your mind that you're going to be that. So it doesn't happen as much where you become this thing and you're like, I don't know how that happened. Like that happens, but not very often. Typically, we make up our minds about something. So when certain people, when they walk down the aisle, they say to themselves, I'm marrying this person and I'm committed to the marriage and the institution of marriage and I'm not leaving and I'm going to figure it out. They don't know how. They don't have any experience, right? They've never been married. I'm talking like these are the first timers, right? That I'm giving you an example of. Never been married, no experience, but they've made up their mind without knowing all of the ins and outs and all of the inevitable trials and tribulations and surprises that are going to pop up. But they already made up their mind. And because they made up their mind, they end up seeing it through. And then you hear about them 30, 40, 50, 60 years later. We've been married for this many, this many decades. Wow, how'd you do it? One day at a time. How'd you do it? We have respect and communication. How'd you do it? I love this person. I like this person. We laugh a lot. We have a great sense of humor. So there are components that are there, but it's because they made up their mind. They didn't have the quote unquote formula, right? You've seen other people where they'll say, I knew that this is what I wanted to do. And I knew it at this point in my life. I decided, here's what I'm going to go do. And they made the decision before it actually happened. They made the decision before it actually became a living reality, but they made up their mind. There is nothing as powerful as a made up mind. What are you making your mind up about right now? What is your mind made up on? Have you made up your mind that you're finally going to get incredibly fit? Have you made up your mind that you're finally going to really take the cultivation of a spiritual relationship? You're going to make that a priority. Have you made up your mind that you're going to show up better for your family? If you're a parent or you have parents or you want to show up better in your relationship, have you made up your mind that you're finally going to get down to business and build a business and have success because you're tired of messing around? You're tired of half-assing it. Have you made up your mind that you're going to get that promotion because you've been working on this job for however long and you're tired of, living in the comfort zone? You're tired of being overlooked. You're going to make your case. You're going to give them an opportunity to give you a pathway to leveling up, or you're going to go find something else. Have you made up your mind that enough is enough? You're sick and tired of being sick and tired. And I don't care if it's a financial thing. You're like, I'm sick and tired, Ed, of living paycheck to paycheck. I'm sick and tired of being overworked and underpaid. I'm sick and tired of being undervalued and underused. I have some stuff in me, Ed. I've got some unused capacity, and there's way more of that than what's being used right now. I am open, Ed. Let's have the conversation. Let's talk about it. Let's talk about what you're doing in leadership and business. And yeah, that's my plug for what I'm doing in leadership and business. I would love to have a conversation with you. Have you made up your mind that you're no longer going to be satisfied with status quo? Have you made up your mind you're going to get out of the comfort zone? So you have the opportunity as the author, the writer, producer, director, and star of your life script. You can make it blockbuster. It doesn't have to be lackluster. It can be blockbuster because you made up your mind that you're going to be someone. You're going to do something special with your life. And you can make that decision right now today. I want you to have appreciation for whatever you have done in the past up to this moment. Some of you have done some pretty amazing things. Those are markers, reminders of your capacity. But you can't eat off of that. You can't live off of who you were, what you did. I used to be this, I used to be that, I used to be this, I used to be that. Used to be's don't make no honey. I want you to focus on today and what you're going to do today towards a much brighter and much more compelling tomorrow. And it's when you embrace this spirit, ladies and gentlemen, that things begin to open up. When you embrace the spirit, that's when things can really change for you. And I want to share something with you. I made up my mind, this was years ago, that I was going to be outstanding in sales and leadership and recruiting. I just decided that I'm going to be excellent because when I was at Morehouse, one of the things that was it was drilled into us. At Morehouse College, we were told over and over and over and over again, not only do you have a responsibility to your community, not only do you have a responsibility to do something with what we're giving you in order to give back and bring value to any community that you're here to serve, but you better find a community to serve and you better do whatever you're going to do. You better do it at a superior level of excellence. You better do it at a standard that no human being would ever expect. It was drilled into us. Whatever you're doing, you better be way up here. Most people are living here. You got to be up here. And because of that, when I got involved in sales and leadership, that was my disposition. I said, I'm going to learn the skills. I'm going to do everything that I can do to master the skills, and I'm going to apply them. And because of that, I was able to create a lot of success in sales and leadership. So I'll tell you a story. I met a young lady, and so we have, it was a function, it was a networking function, and it was downtown New York. And we met at this, fancy schmancy club, and we were having dinner and just talking, and I saw her and I just was really struck by her. Like I was absolutely drawn to her. Not in a sexual way, but I just found her very attractive. Like she had a great energy and a great light And there was something about her swag, her look, like I was like, man, she's special. And so I went over to her. We started talking, and we exchanged information. And then we started hanging out that summer. We built a relationship, a friendship, and we were hanging out. We were going out to dinner, and I took her to see Mike Tyson on Broadway. That was a lot of fun. It's a lot of fun. That was a crazy show. Mike Tyson's one man show on Broadway. It was a trip. So we did all these things, and we were having these conversations, and she was working on her career. At that point, I had already transitioned out of full time acting, and I was doing business. I was doing business full time, but we had that in common. We both were actors, and we both could speak that language. And she was at the genesis of her career, and so I recruited her because I made a commitment to be outstanding in sales and leadership. And I was teaching her how to build her own income while she's auditioning, while she's working things out and trying to figure out her path. And I think you've heard me mention this before. When you're an actor, it's 90 to 95% unemployment. Average actors making four to $6,000 a year. It's a very difficult profession to build a career in, let alone to make a living in. So she's thinking, and she's saying this to me, I don't know like how this is going to work out, but I did this film and it's not out yet. And so, if that film is the last thing that I ever do, I'm grateful because it was an incredible experience. And as actors, we all have those. Like there are certain things that I was able to do when I was on Broadway, when I was in certain films, a lot of special plays that I was like, man, I'm so proud of the body of work that I've been able to create and get paid for. I can't believe it. It's a dream. And so I felt like I had already won the lottery. And I didn't get rich as an actor, but I was able to make a living. I didn't have to do anything else. So I understood what she was saying. So as I'm, teaching and developing, cultivating her and working with her, and she started going to the events. So we would do these events in New York. And I remember she went to an event, and I had to go do an event somewhere else outside of the city. And so I had one of my friends kind of look after her. And she came back from the event, and she was so fired up. She's like, wow, I didn't know it was like this. And so long story short, the movie comes out that she did. And it is mind blowing. The film is mind blowing. And I remember my brother, who's a pastor, he actually had a special screening before the movie came out at his church. And he called me after the film, and he's like, yo, you got to see this movie. And the woman in the film is amazing. She's going to win an Oscar, like I'm telling you. And I was like, what's the movie? He told me the movie. I said, who are you talking about? He told me her name. I was like, hold on. He's literally telling me this. I said, hold on. And I called her, and I three-wayed her in with him. And I said, I got her on the phone. Say what you just said. He's like, what? I was like, yeah, say what you just said. He just was like fawning and, really complimentary of her performance and all of that. And so she goes on to win the Academy Award. She goes on to have a ridiculous career, one of the biggest stars in the world. But I share the story with you because I want you to understand something. I had made up my mind that I was going to be excellent in sales and leadership, that I was going to pour into people, train and develop and cultivate them. And I didn't care who it was or what your come from was. If I could help you create some income while you're trying to figure out your life, if I could help you become a full-time sales and leader professional, if I could help you just become a better version of yourself, I made a decision a long time ago that that's what I was going to do. And I always tell people this story, because I have worked with thousands and thousands of people, directly and indirectly over the years, thousands and thousands and thousands and thousands and thousands. And I have only had one instance that I can personally point to where I'm doing the personal recruiting, someone that I personally recruited. And they said to me, you know what? I think this other thing is going to work out better. And it did. I had that one story. And the reason I tell the story is because it's very difficult to get your worth in the marketplace. It's very difficult to not be overworked and underpaid. It's very difficult to have a dream and then go out and manifest it by your own power, by your own will. And what I do in sales and leadership is a pathway to that. And one of the things that I'm really most grateful for was that I gave this incredible woman the opportunity to experience some highlights to experience a higher quality of life in terms of restaurants. And she drove my car. I had a really, really nice luxury car. And she, she got a chance to get into that way before she became a megastar. And I believe that she kind of seeing me build my dreams and make my dreams come true, I'd like to think that that was a reminder of what's available to her. We didn't talk about that, okay? So I could be this could be pure conjecture, I don't know. But I do believe that it had something of a positive impact on her because we just had a really great dynamic for the time that we were hanging out. So I share that story because I don't know very many people who are in sales and leadership that can tell you that they recruited an Oscar winner and a mega superstar into their sales and leadership business. I love what I do. I love what I do. If you got some value out of this, please like and subscribe and go ahead and pass this story on. If you think it hit somebody else, it's a blessing to be a blessing. Happy Faith Focus and Follow Through Friday. Go out here, make some beautiful things happen, have an awesome weekend, and keep building and developing yourself with personal growth and your own awesomeness. Increase it because the world needs you at your best, and the world deserves to have you at your best, and you deserve to express and live by your best. Much love. Peace.